Why don't billionaires use debit cards? When was the last time you swiped your debit card and thought nothing of it? Probably today, maybe this morning, maybe 10 minutes ago. It's automatic, right? You need something, you pay for it. Money leaves your account. Transaction complete. Now here's something that's going to sit with you for a while. Elon Musk doesn't use a debit card. Jeff Bezos doesn't use one. Warren Buffett doesn't use one. In fact, almost no one on the Forbes Billionaires list uses a debit card for anything meaningful in their financial lives. And the reason why is not what you think. It's not because they have a black card that's fancier. It's not because debit cards are beneath them. It's because people who truly understand money know something about debit cards that most of us were never taught. Something that quietly costs the average American hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars every single year. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to look at your wallet completely differently, and you're going to understand a financial principle that the wealthy live by every single day, one that almost nobody at the bottom of the wealth ladder has ever had explained to them. Let's start with the basic question. What is a debit card actually doing when you use it? When you swipe a debit card, money leaves your bank account immediately. It's gone, right now, in real time. You had it, now you don't. That feels responsible, right? You're spending money you already have. You're not going into debt. You're being smart. Here's the problem with that logic. And this is the first thing the wealthy understand that most people don't. Every dollar that leaves your account immediately is a dollar that stops working for you the moment it's gone. Wealthy people think about money in terms of time, not just amount. They want their money working for as long as humanly possible before it moves anywhere. Every extra day a dollar stays in an interest-bearing account, in an investment, in anything that generates a return is a day that dollar is producing more dollars. It sounds small. One day. What difference does one day make? Here's the answer. When you're moving millions, it makes a significant difference. But even at the level of regular spending, the principle compounds into something real over time. Think about it this way. If you use a credit card with a 30-day billing cycle and pay it off in full every month, you've just given yourself 30 free days of keeping your money before it leaves your account. 30 days where that money could be earning interest in a high-yield savings account. 30 days where it's still technically yours. Over a year, that's 12 cycles of 30 free days. That's the equivalent of having an extra month's worth of cash flow that's always in motion, always working, always yours until the absolute last possible moment. Billionaires don't just do this with credit cards. They do it with everything. They structure their entire financial lives to delay the moment money leaves their control for as legally possible, and they reinvest every single second in between. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and this is the part most people have genuinely never thought about. When you use a debit card, you have almost no protection. Let me say that again, because this one fact alone should make you reconsider everything.
When your debit card is compromised, when someone steals your number and drains your account, that money is gone. Actually gone. Out of your bank account. Immediately. Yes, banks have fraud protection policies. Yes, most of the time you'll get that money back. But here's what the policy doesn't tell you. It can take days, sometimes weeks. And while you're waiting, your rent is still due. Your groceries still need to be bought. Your bills don't care that your account was compromised. Federal law limits your liability on a debit card only if you report the fraud within 2 business days. After that, you could be liable for up to $500 of unauthorized charges. Wait more than 60 days, you could be on the hook for everything. Credit cards are completely different. Under federal law, your maximum liability for fraudulent credit card charges is $50. And most major credit card companies have zero liability policies, meaning you owe nothing if your card is stolen or compromised. And here's the key difference that changes everything. With a credit card, the fraudulent transaction was never your money. It was the bank's money. Your cash never moved. So while the dispute is being resolved, your financial life continues completely uninterrupted. Wealthy people understand this at a fundamental level. They will never voluntarily put themselves in a position where their actual cash is at risk in a routine transaction. Never. Because protecting what you have is just as important as growing it. Now here's the layer of this that gets into territory most financial videos never touch. Billionaires don't actually pay for things the way you think they do. Most ultra-wealthy individuals hold the majority of their net worth not in cash, but in assets, stocks, real estate, private equity, art, businesses, things that appreciate over time. If they sell those assets to buy something, they trigger a taxable event. They owe capital gains tax. So instead of selling, they borrow against their assets. This is called a securities-backed line of credit, or in real estate, it's called a HELOC. The concept is the same. You own something valuable, you use it as collateral, You borrow money at a very low interest rate, and you use that borrowed money to pay for things. The assets keep growing, the loan interest is often tax deductible, and they never had to sell anything or pay capital gains. Elon Musk has famously done this. Jeff Bezos has done this. Larry Ellison has done this. It's not a secret. It's a well-documented strategy called buy, borrow, die, and it's completely legal. Buy appreciating assets, borrow against them to fund your lifestyle, die with the assets, which pass to heirs with a stepped cost basis, eliminating the capital gains tax entirely. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great, but I'm not a billionaire. I don't have securities to borrow against. How does any of this apply to me? And this is exactly the question I want you to sit with, because the answer is more accessible than you realize. You don't need to be a billionaire to apply billionaire financial principles. You just need to start thinking about money the way they do. Step 1 is what we've already talked about. Stop using your debit card for everyday purchases. Use a no annual fee rewards credit card instead. Pay it off in full every single month with fail. Keep your cash in a high-yield savings account earning interest until the bill is due. This one change does 3 things simultaneously. It protects your cash from fraud, it earns you rewards on spending you are already going to do, and it keeps your money working for 1 extra month before it leaves your hands. Now, I want to be very direct with you here, because this strategy only works if you pay the balance in full every single month. If you carry a balance, if you pay interest, the math flips completely and the credit card wins. The interest charges will always outweigh the rewards and the float benefit. This is actually why credit cards are one of the most divisive tools in personal finance. For someone with discipline and a positive cash flow, they are an incredibly powerful instrument. For someone who carries a balance, they are one of the most expensive financial products in existence.
The wealthy know which camp they're in, and they only use the tool when they know it will work in their favor. Here's something that will genuinely surprise you. The average American who uses a rewards credit card responsibly earns between $500 and $1,500 in cash back or travel rewards every single year on spending they were already going to do. That's not investing. That's not a side hustle. That's just understanding how the tool works and using it correctly. $500 to $1,500 a year, invested at average market returns over 20 years. Do you know what that becomes? Somewhere between $20,000 and $60,000. From rewards on groceries and gas and subscriptions you are already paying for. That is the compounding effect of a small behavioral change applied consistently over time. That is how the wealthy think. But there's one more layer to this, and this is the insight I want you to walk away with today, the one that goes beyond credit cards and debit cards and rewards points. The reason billionaires don't use debit cards is not really about the card itself. It's about the philosophy behind every financial decision they make. They never let money sit idle. They never willingly give up protection they didn't have to give up. They never pay for something today if they can pay for it tomorrow without consequence. They never make a financial transaction without understanding exactly what it costs them and what they get in return. Most people make financial decisions based on what feels comfortable, what feels familiar, what feels safe. The debit card feels safe because you're spending money you already have. But that feeling of safety is an illusion that's costing you in 3 different ways simultaneously. Less protection, less interest earned, less reward. And here's the hardest truth of all. The financial system was designed to profit from the gap between what wealthy people know and what everyone else does. The banks know that most people will use debit cards out of habit. They know most people won't optimize their cash flow. They know most people will leave money sitting in low-interest accounts while they could be earning more. And every single one of those gaps is a profit center for someone else. The moment you close those gaps, even one at a time, you stop being on the losing side of those transactions. You start keeping more of what you earn. And over time, that adds up to something that genuinely changes your financial life. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen from one video, but it starts with understanding. And understanding starts the moment you ask a better question. Not, how do I earn more money? But am I using the money I already have as effectively as the people I admire? Most of the time, the answer is no. And that's actually great news, because it means the opportunity is already there. It's not waiting for a raise or a promotion or a lucky investment. It's waiting for a decision. A decision to use money the way wealthy people use it, intentionally, strategically, with every dollar working for you for as long as possible before it goes anywhere. That's not a billionaire secret. That's just financial literacy, and now you have it. So here's what I want from you right now.
Drop a comment below and tell me honestly, do you primarily use a debit card or a credit card for your everyday spending? And after watching this, are you thinking about making a change? I read every comment and I want to know where you actually are, because this community is full of people who are serious about getting smarter with money. And your comment might be the thing that helps someone else take the first step. And if this video shifted something in the way you think about money, please subscribe, because every single week I break down the financial strategies that the wealthy actually use in plain language so that you can start applying them at whatever level you're at right now. You don't need $1 billion to think like a billionaire. You just need to start.